all the tribe. Welcome to the House of Kai. So today I'm going to do an oracle read. Today is a medicine oracle read. And I hope that you are wonderful where you are. And I am seeing diverse weather across the country right now. And how interesting it is, right? How interesting it is. I am looking out a window of beautiful green and feeling very blessed. Very, very blessed to experience the greenery and the duality of it. There is a beautiful warmth and then this chill going on. So by no means am I in the northeast area and it's not freezing and snowing, so very blessed to say that. Yet there's a definite interesting chill, which I kind of like. I kind of like that every once in a while. So let's see. Today's medicine oracle read. What is the tribe? Good. Good. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. You know, you may have heard me say this before, and I will say it again and again and again, is that I refer to my spiritual team as punk asses. They talk in a language and a vibration that resonates with me. And so I refer to them as punk asses. And I am very grateful for my punk ass team because they never cease to amaze me. Today's card is number 28. I'm not sure if I can pronounce this very well, but it's a QNT. It is the sweet paradox of empowering grace. What a paradox that is. You know, I was speaking with someone recently and we were talking about grace. And they said, I couldn't comprehend. What do you mean by grace? And it was interesting because they're this masculine energy and they're communicating to me. I wish I could remember their exact words, yet what they were speaking was of grace. However, they were speaking it from a format that was trying to separate themselves from what grace actually was. And so it was really this place of like the breath in between. It is the space. And so I'll explain. I think the best, my favorite anyway, my favorite definition of grace is really an example of it. And I love this example. So imagine walking down the street. And as you're walking down the street, there's a little girl or a little boy, and they're calling to you and be like, oh, sir, ma'am, please help me. My cat is up in the tree. And so we go over, we get a ladder, we do all these things, and we get this cat up in the tree. And I'm having an inner chuckle because most cats know how to get down from the tree just fine. However, in this moment in time, we're getting the cat from the tree and we hand that cat to the child. And as we're coming back down the ladder, we realize that the child and the cat are gone. That is grace. Grace is accepting the gratitude, the thank you, right? Without ever having to hear it. That is grace. Or like those moments when you hold that door open for someone behind you and they got so much going on. Yes, they grab that door, but now there's somebody with them, or they never say thank you, but it's known. The grace is inside of you. It's knowing. It's knowing that you don't need it. To do things without requiring something else from it. That is grace. And so I believe, if I remember right, this gentleman spoke of and forgive me, it was very cockily in my opinion of how he communicated it, but it was kind of like just acceptance because I ain't gonna get it. That's how it was kind of communicated. I just accept that I'm not gonna get something from these people, and I'm just giving it because I'm giving it and I'm just accepting it. Well, go beyond the acceptance and realize that it's in the acceptance. The next layer beyond acceptance is sitting in gratitude for yourself, right? Accepting the fact almost feels like a harsh shove, versus grace feels like an ocean wave. It feels like the energy was given without having to be given. It is received without having a direct, tangible gift, right? That is grace, the paradox of grace. It truly is. It's receiving the gift. It's receiving the gift without ever having known there was even a gift given. Wow. So, I think we're all kind of in that place. And, I can honestly say that there are so many gifts given on a regular basis and we don't even realize it. I see so much love and so much chaos taking place in this world. And, I really do believe that if we all realized that every single human being is making a decision based off of what they deem safe. That's it. Every single human being makes decisions off of safety. And so accepting that. It doesn't matter if you like the answer or not. It doesn't matter if you like that person's safety is what it is. Just graciously accepting. Let's go with that. Graciously accepting the fact that it is based off of their safety. What you deem safe as a human being isn't necessarily what somebody else deems safe as a human being. And so today I was at the little outside market, and I'm at this little outside market and I'm outside, so I don't have a mask on. Why would I, right? I'm out in the fresh air, no need. And one gentleman turns to me. He doesn't work there, and I know he doesn't work there because I know the people that do. And he turns and says, "You need to put your mask on." And I just smiled. And I paused. I didn't respond. I said, "Excuse me?" Finally. And he goes, "You need to put your mask on." And I waited. And then he communicated that he changed his tone and he changed his words. And he said, "It would benefit you if you put your mask on." And I said, it would benefit me. And then he finally communicated that he had a daughter, which he's an older gentleman, so his daughter is closer to my age. And so she's not some young person who doesn't know how to take care of their own health. They have accountability for their wellness. And he says that the daughter is sick and that he needs to safeguard her at all costs. And I said, "Oh, okay." And that she had had a liver transplant. And I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "If you were asking me to put my mask on for your well-being, sir, I'd be happy to. I would be happy to." And so I started to put my mask on. And at this point in time, he's already walked towards me. So I thought it was very odd for a human being to tell me to put my mask on. And he was more than 6 feet away from me. He was probably 10 to 12 feet away from me. And he's telling me to do this. And as he's telling me, he started to walk closer to me. So if he really had consciousness, he would never have stepped towards me. I don't know if it was unintentionally trying to threaten. I didn't feel that way, but I don't often feel threatened by people. So it could have been a move to do that, but I don't sense that. But he did ask me to do that and step towards me. And he explained that his daughter had had a liver transplant. And then he finally said 5 years ago. So, okay, I know that's, they're never fully safe after something like that. I would agree. Oh, and then my heart got really broken when he told me that he had 2 daughters with schizophrenia. And that to me, in that moment, realizing that he lives in such fear all the time. It is one thing for a human being to have a level of fear and demand of you to put their mask on because they want to protect their families. I will do my best to graciously accept that. However, communicate it. Don't demand a human being to have to break what they don't deem healthy. I don't believe wearing a mask is healthy, and in fact, it doesn't serve my breathing patterns at all. And so I limit the use of it because I feel better when I can breathe better without it on. So even though somebody else believes that wearing of a mask is protecting them, I don't. That's not my belief system. It actually hinders my wellness. So what is right and wrong doesn't matter. It is what allows the other person to feel safe in their environment. And if I may assist others in feeling safe, I will do my best. However, I don't feel safe wearing one. And so what does that mean to other people? Right? Can you allow grace in those moments? Can you accept the fact that wearing one hinders another person's ability to breathe, and that makes them feel unsafe? To me, that is the paradox of grace. Right? So, and so I pick this card, and it's dependability. It is a masculine and feminine energy coming together. Offering a dependability. It's beautiful. Let me see, I feel like there's another empowering grace. Empowering grace. Whew. And so it's showing me context. So now I'm very much sitting in this interesting energy here. So we have the context. Oh. The children. Stepping into places of supporting the children, right? What does that look like? It is such a paradox, because the majority of parents that I speak to do not wish to have their children wear masks. They know how unhealthy it is. And they as well are not forcing their children to do so. And they're also working within environmental areas that do the same, that don't force people to do so. By no means are children incapable of acquiring this. I mean, it's a flu for the most part, right? Or as somebody has described to me, the different, they themselves had it and gone through different process of it, of what it was like, and the way they described it, I said, oh, it was like bronchial pneumonia. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like a bronchial pneumonia, which I've had many times in my life. And so I understand the pain of that very much. And I've been very blessed. I've been very, very blessed that the people that I know have healed and recovered from it, that have gotten it. And really the one that blows my mind the most is I have a client who literally, I mean, talk about medical issues, has had multitudes of medical limitations, even has a pacemaker and has had a pacemaker for like 40 years of their life. So they've had it, bounced back, look freaking fantastic. A little bit of downtime going on and rebuilding, but for real, just, that's a warrior of light, I'll tell you what. She is just rocking it and moving forward. So the paradox of grace, that really makes me sit in this dependability, because owning one's grace within themselves is dependability. It is not about requiring an outside source in order to have dependability. It is owning it from within, right? So it is beautiful to have partnerships and be able to have someone of dependability within your partnership. However, I see so many people in partnerships that have their partners aren't dependable. In fact, their partners are weakening of the family and the tribe. So what is it that we deem dependable, right? And what level of dependability do we need outside of ourselves? We are in a time of sovereignty, so what does that look like and feel like? I most certainly am honored and grateful for the dependability of the universe, for I know that the universe has shown up for me time and time and time again. And no matter how many times I've tried to sabotage my own progress, no matter how many times and ways I have done things to sabotage my own progress, the universe has supplied and gifted to me that which is needed for my journey. And so with saying that, I am so grateful. And I know as of right now, I'm in a whole new level of purification, like really shedding old skin so that I may own my true sovereignty, right? Own my true sovereignty. Be the creator with as a co-creator of my reality. And what that looks like, from scratch, from like ground root seedling process is where I am right now, and so still I got some stuff to clean up. I've still, in order to make the garden grow, I still have to compost some shit. So I'm in that process as well. And so becoming dependable on ourselves, right? Realizing that there is nothing outside of us beyond universal energy, beyond creative flow that is dependable. Universal law is that which is dependable. And that's it. That's it. So creating from that standpoint, and to truly create from that standpoint is sitting in a state of grace. Right? It is the deepest levels of acceptance that one can possibly have. To accept, to merely accept, but do so from an egoic standpoint of like, I just accept something because whoa. You know what I mean? Like to have a statement after acceptance, it depends on the statement. But I'll be honest, to truly say why you're accepting the whole situation, you might want to check in. There's some sort of egoic statement most likely being said versus acceptance from grace, right? Accepting that we're in the flow of the process. Powerful. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Whoo, child. And it tells me to stop at priorities. I would agree with that completely. So getting ourselves in alignment with our priorities so that we can sit in that paradox of grace with ease. I know myself how often I can have that internal struggle and fight. So getting my priorities aligned, right? Cleaning up the messes, getting my footing, doing all of these things so that I may move forward with even more grace. So what is it, right? That's dependability, as I drop the card. So true dependability is getting in the alignment of your own true priorities. And isn't it, oh, this is beautiful. So what you may or may not see in this card here is that these two, she's holding this beautiful lotus flower. She is holding a lotus flower in her hands. And Ganesha is offering it. Right? So owning one's priorities. Owning one's priorities. And getting in alignment with that. Yeah. Yeah, I am not one for structure and rules, really not a big fan whatsoever. But I have learned that with a level of structure and rules, it makes it easier to be in flow. Too many rules will create no flow, right? Will create no flow. But there is a healthy balance of structure and rules that will allow for this new growth to take place. I love how this happens. Yeah. You know, as I was sitting in the cards, and it's like, that just wasn't communicating when I pulled dependability, you know, especially when it was, the card was referencing a male and female. Well, I look at that as the union within, right? True sovereignty is the union within. Not everyone's path is the same, right? So I say this because unity within you will only create more grace, right? Will only create more flow. You know, partnerships can get very, very messy. And so there are very few people I know, very, very few people I know that are in a very well-balanced partnership, that they themselves could stand on their own 2 feet. Whether they are a working mom or a working dad, they are in a union with this other partner that they dance a dance, and one provides and the other provides on a different element, or they both have independent jobs. And if one is supplying the financial income and the other one is doing all the other stuff, the one who's doing all the other stuff would literally, if they needed to, if they were not being looked at from the proper sight of their partner for all that they do and holding the glue together as a family and as a tribe, then they themselves would step out of it and do it on their own and be just fine. They don't look at it from a place of, you know, they don't look at it as anything less than sovereignty. So there are people I do know that are living in their true sovereign lives while in union, and it is outstanding. It is the most magical, beautiful thing to witness. However, more often than not, I say, well, you know, nowadays people have really cleaned up their relationships, which is beautiful. But I do see a lot of codependency. And so can you stand within your own? Can you be dependent of you? Can you be dependent upon you and the universal flow of life in order to be the creator of your world? And when you do come into partnerships with other people, are they showing up from that level, right? And do they honor and respect? There must be a level of not just honor and respect, but communication, right? So I have been very blessed that I've actually held union for people, been their reverend, right? Where I've done the whole ceremony and held union for people, and they will come to me even after and ask for advice within their relationships. And I love to explain to them that your union is your union. Your agreement is yours, right? So if the couple coming together has made decisions to have, we'll say, an open relationship, or that the wife works and the husband doesn't, or any sort of agreement that seems outside of society's norm, that's your agreement. It doesn't make it any less of a union. In fact, for me, in witnessing it, it actually makes it a deeper, more bonded union when two people can come together and respect and hold space for their counterpart, their beloved, so that these two people can have everything together, right? And the glue in that dynamic is grace. It is grace. It is this unbelievable, deep level of acceptance. And I'll tell you right now, experiencing grace feels so joyful. My heart feels elevated, but my mind is calm, if that makes sense. Right? I have this deep level of joy that I'm experiencing without having to seek further data in order to be in that energetic dance with another human being, right? And so that must start from within, right? We must learn to have that for ourselves. And I know for me personally these days, so many things have transitioned. Just simply the way I've identified myself and my role within the community has changed so dramatically that I'm going through a huge overhaul. And so establishing grace for me, it's a dance, right? I can have a very harsh edge to me. Those that know me, I think my favorite is I have a dear, dear friend who says to me, she goes, "You love hard." And I do. I love hard. You know that I love you, like, without a doubt. My level of presence and caring for another person's well-being. And if they themselves don't choose to care for themselves to the degree that I do, that's okay. I have learned to remove my energy enough so that they have space to breathe, and that they realize that there's no negative intention from my loving of them. It's just knowing that they are worthy of better than the love they're accepting. Right? But it is not up to me to convince any human being that they are worthy of more love than what they're accepting. They themselves have to accept it. So I'm kind of in the same place, right? Learning to love myself graciously, right? Allowing myself to be in that dance and learning how to receive that which is coming in and show up for it, right? Dependability on me, right? In order to create that. Yeah. Ooh, I'll tell you, I never know where these readings go. I just know they tell me a story to tell. So hopefully you've gained something from my stories. I thank you, tribe. I thank you. So be gracious with all people. We always make decisions based off of safety. Every decision is based off of safety, always. Always, always, always. So just because we don't like somebody else's opinion or their stance, where they stand, know that for some reason within their world, they're doing it because it makes them feel safe, right? the problem sometimes that arises, I'm sorry, I'm noticing this beautiful sunset coming from my window. Just this orange glow. So sometimes the problem with people making decisions on safety is that they can seem aggressive or violent even in their communications or actions. And so it's not about taking it for that, it's about being soft enough to allow the truth to come to the surface so that you can know, just as I did this morning with this, the gentleman, right? He demanded something of me, but the truth of it is that he just lived in so much fear over any harm coming to his children, who he already deemed highly broken, right? His children live in such a world of chaos, which means that he lives in a world of chaos because he loves them so much. If in that moment, me placing my mask on is what is required to make him feel safe, I'm happy to do it. I don't need to argue it. Yet, maybe not take everything for face value. Maybe allow yourself to sit in the uncomfortable energy and find out the truth so you can make an honest decision from it. Right? Yeah. I would recommend that. That's grace. Sitting in the uncomfortable energy. And just learning how to be in it. Thank you for sharing time with me, tribe. I love you. Mwah. Peace out, y'all.